Yo, yo, yo.
There we go.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of It's Just My Opinion, where we give y'all just that. It's your boy XI.
It's your boy DA.
Raw Dog Legend and Creep We Trust.
Yes, sir. We got a special guest in the building, man. We finally got this man to sit down, man. We had to talk to his agent, his manager. Man, tell him who you are, man.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I'm Will from Enviyon. How are you?
What's up, man?
The Will.
Will from Enviyon.
You see, just say Will. I'm just Will.
I'm just Will.
Just Will.
You're not sitting here just being Will. Will, what's up, man?
Oh, nothing, man. Just real excited. A lot of good things happening. A lot of good things been going on. Just really keeping that positive energy and always looking towards the future, man. Looking for better, and just trying to put doubt and disbelief behind me at all times.
Yes,
You always, since I've been knowing you, probably like the past, I think 4 years now. Ever since I've been knowing you, always keep the same type of energy. You always positive. You always head high on the shoulders. You know, is it come naturally like that, or is it because there's money you getting from this shit?
No, believe it or not, it is a natural thing. And I think that that type of mindset only happens when you're living the way you want to live.
Facts.
Correct.
Facts.
If you live the life you want to live, you'll be happy every morning you wake up because you chose this life. So you don't complain about it. You don't complain about the problems. You don't complain about the obstacles because you chose that.
Facts.
But if you live in a life that you don't want, of course you're complaining about everything that's going on because you don't agree with none of it, you know? I mean, if you start a business and that's your business, that's your kitchen, you ain't mad that, you know.
The dish is dirty.
You ain't mad. That's part of it.
Right.
So you know, so I think being happy is just making sure that whatever you're doing, you're creating your own environment. And that way, when things are rough, you ain't mad.
Facts.
It comes with it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I feel one thing in life that I explain to a lot of people too, I don't necessarily want to be rich. I feel like rich sometimes too is a mind state.
For sure.
I want to be comfortable. And it seems like you're comfortable. Comfortable could be, let's say, I got $1 million. To me, $1 million ain't rich no more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you able to come in here. If you want to leave, you could take, you can go on vacation tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got money in your bank to go to Dubai. You come back, you're not messed up.
I only got like, you know, maybe $200, $300 in the bank, but other than that,
That's cap. 200,000, 300,000. I know what you're doing, but nah, I would love you. You like, I look at you and I get motivated too because you're comfortable
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
and you're happy.
okay.
You know,
Yeah, for sure. And I'll throw something out there too. That's actually the one thing that I hope I don't get used to is being comfortable. I don't want to be comfortable.
Facts.
I don't never want to get comfortable. I don't ever want to look around and just sulk in my accomplishments.
Yes, sir.
The goal is to do better.
Yep.
The goal is to keep growing and to keep going. Like, you can't get comfortable.
Yeah.
So somebody might, like you may have had that observation and said, Will look like he's comfortable. I'm not comfortable in the per se of like, I'm good. I'm straight.
Right.
It ain't that kind of comfortable. It's a comfortable of, okay, this is the life I chose. I like what I'm doing. This is what I got to do. And it keeps my mind going. I'm constantly thinking. I'm constantly busy.
sir.
And that's where you see the comfort at.
Right.
Because I'm not in dismay. I'm not worried and worrying about stuff that has nothing to do with me. You know?
Yeah. They always said that you gotta, even in comfortable situations, you gotta make yourself uncomfortable. You
For
know,
sure.
they say just like in relationships, you can't get too comfortable in a relationship.
Right.
You still gotta continue dating that
That's
person,
correct.
continue, you know, showing this person new things. If y'all not trying new things and y'all kind of set in the way, it gets boring.
Yep.
It gets kind of like blah.
Yep.
And things like that, man. But we want to thank you, Will, from taking some time out of your busy ass schedule to sit
Facts.
down with us guys, man.
No, for sure.
for
Listen,
sure.
man,
So-
just working with y'all, the time I've been working with y'all and seeing y'all growth and seeing the things that y'all doing, I'm noticing your formats are improving. And I do this a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
Not
Yes,
me
sir.
being interviewed. I'm always on the other side of the
Yes,
camera.
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But I observe a lot of people. I see hundreds and hundreds of people, right?
Yes, sir.
And I can see their tactics, I can see their methods, I can see the things. And one of the hardest things to do is the consistency and to improve and consistency and improvement.
Yes, sir.
Those are the two elements that's going to equal success. And y'all have been able to do that. Y'all been consistent, and y'all are improving upon every time y'all come. Y'all show get better.
Yes, sir.
So just from that, I want to say congratulations. Y'all keep doing that.
Thank you, man. Yes,
But don't
sir.
get comfortable.
No, it's never coming. It's still the beginning.
For sure.
Yeah, and then another thing, like before you guys say that, we want to say thank you because, like I say, you've been on the other side of the camera.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean, we wouldn't have the success that we got if it wasn't for you. So we got to give you your
Thank
flowers.
you.
for
No,
why you
seriously, it's definitely a give and take, and I'm just glad that y'all working with us.
All right, so when you gonna
working
get these
with
people the contract to start signing as manager, Will?
Man,
Come
y'all
on,
gonna
man.
outgrow me, man. Y'all gonna outgrow me.
No.
Definitely. I already can see it, man. I already can see it.
Hey.
I got a lot of stuff going on, and one thing I always tell people, when people come and meet up and you have let's say you got two great entities that, anytime you see a really great entity, a lot of times the first thing you think of is, man, I'm going to team up with them,
Yes, sir.
or man, I want to get on their show.
Right.
Or
Yes,
man, I want to be a part of what they got going on.
Yes, sir.
But one thing I learned is it's all about timing, right? The timing is the only thing that matters in that. So y'all could be doing a fantastic job and somebody could say, hey, I want to get on your show, or I want to be part of y'all staff, or I want to manage y'all, or whatever. But if the timing doesn't make sense, a lot of times that won't make sense to do.
Absolutely.
The timing has to line up. So I always look for opportunities and I always look for timing. I've reached out to people and I've tried to get in contact with people or tried to work with people, and to no avail. They ain't available, or they just, and then, 2-3 years later down the road, timing hits.
Yes,
now
sir.
they calling me.
Blowing
Oh
you
man,
up.
I really need you, blah, blah, blah. And I had to learn to not get mad at that. I had to learn to not say, man, when I was hitting you up, you wasn't answering. Now you need me. I had to learn that, no, it's about timing.
Yeah.
At the time when I wanted them to be involved, they didn't need me at the time. It wasn't that they don't fuck with me, or excuse my language, but it was the timing. Now it lines up.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So now I can take the opportunity to say, you know what? I'll work with you. And now they really can see what you got to offer. That's your opportunity.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times it's just timing. And I always, when somebody asks me, hey, what you think about this? What you think about that? I got to think to myself, does the timing line up?
Yeah.
And I might have to be honest with them and say, maybe we're not right now, maybe in the future.
For sure.
Because it's just being real. It's just being honest.
So since we finally got you on this couch, we finna get down to it.
What's up?
Before you started Enviyon, what were you doing? Tell us, Will.
I mean,
what I mean?
Exactly before I started
Like
Enviyon.
what gave you the vision for Enviyon in so many words?
I don't want to go into a
doing?
whole long story,
No.
but I've been doing music for a very long time. I mean, I was in an orchestra in freshman year of high school.
Oh, wow.
Playing violins and basses and all that stuff. We used to go to different schools and battle with the orchestras.
What school did you go to?
I graduated from DeSable High School, but I actually went to 5 different high schools in my career. And this is a result of just my childhood stuff. I had a lot of
Moving around.
moving around, bro. Just a lot of stuff with family and all of that. And y'all will be able to read all of that in my book. I actually got a book coming out.
What?
Oh, straight up?
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna get into it.
No, we
but,
gonna get there. Yeah.
But just based on that, I would go to this school, I would do it, then I would go to another school, then, oh, you're pretty good at this. You got the ear for it. So music goes, I would say, if I wanted to say like actively, like really doing it, 8th grade. That's when I really was doing it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I ended up going to the military.
Okay.
And
What
I was
branch?
doing a little to the Navy.
Yeah,
I went to the Navy. I was kind of forced out because I wasn't doing nothing with myself after high school. Nothing.
Did you go right after high school?
Right after.
Okay.
Did it play a role into who you are today?
Of course, absolutely.
How many years did you serve?
I did 3 years in the Navy.
Okay.
Yep, I did 3 years in the Navy, and then I came back and just went through life, which I could explain all of that. But directly before doing this, I was working at UPS. And I started UPS working as just a package handler. I was getting $9.50 an hour, loading the brown UPS trucks.
What year was this?
When I started UPS in 2002.
2002.
Oh, damn. Yeah,
So it was a while ago.
for sure.
I worked at UPS for 15 years.
Jeez.
I know. It's crazy. I worked at UPS. I became a manager and everything
They
at
give you
UPS. A plaque?
A plaque. Yeah, you
No.
should be a
No.
They ain't
'Cause
give
I
you no
quit.
plaque?
They should have gave you
quit.
a plaque 15
Oh, okay.
years. Oh,
I
okay.
quit to follow
yeah.
my dream.
Yeah.
And
That's what's
and
up.
everybody said you are crazy. You walking away from a career job, and I felt like I was.
That was gonna be a question too.
I was gonna say because they
I'll
was
ask
like,
you
bro,
that.
you why don't you just stay, retire?
Right.
But I was like, bro, I'm supposed to do something else.
Facts.
I'm not supposed to do this.
that hard labor shit.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I didn't mind being an important person in that company,
Right.
and I appreciated the things they taught me. But being a manager in a company is free training on
Yeah.
how to be a manager for your
Yourself.
company.
Absolutely.
Fact.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. People are like, oh, I don't know how to do it. I don't want to work for nobody. That's teaching you how to work for yourself. So for all of the people out there who say, I don't want to get a job, I just want to be an entrepreneur, learn how to work for somebody, understand what they doing, get behind their books, learn what they doing, then step out there and do your thing.
sure.
For sure.
I'll
For
be honest
sure.
with you. When I first started, I copied all the stuff UPS doing, not their actual intellectual property,
Right.
but
Just the
some of
blueprint, right?
but the processes.
Yeah.
Process.
Because I knew how to handle people, I knew how to discipline, I knew how to hire, I knew how to train.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I know how to do a lot of this stuff. So I implemented my own little system and kind of got my thing going.
That's what's
but
up.
that was a result of just some of the things that I had been through. And I ended up quitting, which to this day, people still say you crazy. You could have
They
just,
still say you crazy after all
you
this.
could have stayed. You could have stayed, bro.
So they wanted you to do both, juggle both.
I tried. I tried that. So in 2010, I first started Enviyon, and I was still working at UPS. I was a manager there, and I would go to work at midnight. I would get off at about 9 a.m., go home, go to sleep, wake up, come to the studio, record, leave the studio about 10 p.m., go home, get 2 hours of sleep, pull up to UPS, go to sleep in my car, go in the building, do work, sometimes sleep at the desk because I was a manager, so I was able to kind of get away with a little
Finesse
shit.
it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get off. If I'm too tired, because I work downtown, I would drive. I always would just get off on 119th and Ashland in that big parking lot where the Jewel is,
Yeah,
and I would
yeah.
just sleep in that parking lot for like 2 hours because I couldn't make it home.
No, for
I was
sure.
too tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would sleep in that parking lot, start my car back up, and come on back out here. And then I would open the doors to the studio. Because I knew that you can't have a business if your doors ain't open.
Facts.
Right.
You can't.
Facts.
I never understand businesses that just that only run when they feel like running.
Yeah, for
You got to be open. So I always knew that because, again, I'm using other blueprints.
Right.
I'm using what these big companies do. I'll compare myself to like an Amazon or Walmart or, and granted, I ain't close to that. But
Right.
I see those blueprints and I say, I'm gonna do the same thing they doing. And that was my motivation. And I did that from 2010 until 2017 until I finally said, after I had three studios built, that's when I said, I think I could quit.
Yeah.
And then I quit.
So where you from, Will?
I'm from Chicago.
Like, is it a specific area? I know you said you
So
went to
I did move
multiple-
around
yeah.
a lot. I spent most of my teenage years on the south side. I
Okay.
spent a lot of my younger years on the north side.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright,
so my younger years, I was with my mom. My mom was up north. My dad was out south. And it's still like that to this day.
Oh, okay.
All her side of the family is up north. All my dad's side of the family is out south. So to this day, it's still kind of like that. So I spent a lot of time with her. I was up north. When I was with him, I was out south.
Right.
So
Best of both worlds.
My younger years, I was with her. Then I got older, and we couldn't get along. Come get him.
Right.
Had to go with Pops.
Right.
What was that?
Right.
Boys in the Hood, Young Trey.
So you gonna
Pretty
stay
much.
with your daddy.
Young Trey.
So we're learning how to, be an engineer and stuff like that. I know you went to the Navy, and then you was working UPS. So how did you manage to go to school for this, to learn how to do this?
I didn't go to school for
Oh,
this.
what?
Oh, wow.
I'm self-taught, 100%.
Oh,
That
that's-
is tough.
That's crazy.
What?
That's
100%
tough.
self-taught. I never took a class.
Never took a
You
class?
never.
I don't have a
do-
college degree.
Do you think you can teach a class?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
I
Will.
have to holler at you. I'm gonna holler at my son
Absolutely.
real fast.
I mean, I just kept doing it.
Yeah,
That's
for
it.
sure.
You just
I can agree with you on that because once you got time to kind of navigate through it, you kind of click in to figure out what it was. Because I used to record myself in my grandma's basement.
just learn it.
Yeah, for sure. And then I had everybody from Riverdale to Harvey in that basement. Man, I used to have a wall in a basement, and I had everybody's signature on it, man. It was crazy.
Yep.
And then you don't think about what that wall was until you know it's gone, and then you realize like a lot of them people that signed that wall ain't around no more.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
Yeah.
That too.
So Will, growing up, man, you know what I'm saying, all these different schools, north side, south side. You got siblings?
Yep, I got 3 siblings.
3?
I'm the oldest.
You the old, okay.
And I got a sister and 2 brothers.
Okay. Are they musically in?
They not into music.
No.
My oldest brother, not my youngest brother, but my oldest brother, he also does music. Okay. I mean, not in the extent of me, but he also does music, and we share some similarities in that.
Okay.
You know, but he lives in California right now, so he's doing big things out there.
Did he have any inspiration on what you're doing today?
Absolutely. Okay. So you know, we've met a few times where he'd be like, "Man, send me your template. Show me what you be doing. Here you go, bro.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Make it happen. You know." So I've you know, I think I had a little bit of hand in that and give him that. But he got other dreams and aspirations. He's a pilot.
Oh, wow, that's dope.
You know, he's flying planes and stuff. So
that's dope.
You know, that's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
I don't know too many pilots.
No.
Yeah, black at that.
Black at that. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that a lot of our cultural families don't have. We don't have a lot of lawyers. We don't have a lot of doctors.
Yeah,
we don't have a lot of pilots. Like things like that. You know, so it was great to have that. And
It's
I'm
more
like,
so a post office and Ford and
Yes.
CTA
Yes.
and truck drivers.
It's the same thing.
Barbers.
Nurses.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nurses. You know what I'm saying?
Cosmetologists.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. So Will, man, like, man, it's just crazy how you know what I'm saying, like a lot of people wouldn't even notice about you, bro, because you so behind the scenes. You know, but I feel like you inspire people too. Like for you to just sit here and say, for 7 years you double ran UPS and your studios, man. What was the motivation behind Enviyon? Matter of fact, before we answer that, where did the name come from?
Enviyon is actually a created word. The thought process behind that was I remember scouring Google and I remember searching up different words. And I remember telling myself, I don't want to use a word that already exists. I want to create my own word. So I took a couple words. I took the word envy, which means to desire. And I took the word beyond, which means to go far. And I put them together, and you get Enviyon.
That's dope.
That's dope.
That's dope.
And I was like, and I Googled it. There's nothing Enviyon. It don't exist. So I trademarked it.
The spelling and everything.
The whole thing. And trademarked it.
First person
Spent my
ever do it.
$400. Right. Because I didn't want it to be, you know, I mean, if you Google envy, 17,000 things going to pop up.
sure.
But if you Google Enviyon, we the only thing going to pop up. Even if you spell it wrong, we the only thing going to pop up. So I thought that was important.
Yeah, that's super dope.
You know, that's kind of the meaning behind that.
That's dope.
Mr. Enviyon himself.
Mr. Enviyon himself.
Mr.
Man, we go. Hey, you ever thought about getting your own liquor?
Yeah, that'll sound good too.
It's just my opinion of podcast vodka. You know what I mean?
Sponsored by.
I never really thought about it, but I mean, I guess if it would be lucrative and it would make sense, absolutely. I'm not against any opportunities to grow and show the world who we are. You know, I mean, we do got some standards, we do got some things that we do like to stick to, as far as making sure that we're giving back in some way. I want to always make sure I'm doing that in some way.
For sure.
You know, I don't want it to always be we just here to make money. I want it to be we making a difference and make money.
What ways do you use to get back now?
I mean, right now, like after COVID, man, even before COVID, honestly, we've been always doing little stuff. Like we'll do Christmas toy drives. I've done those with some local businesses. We would get the local businesses in the areas and say, look, we're going to do a toy drive. And we would meet at a specific business. Okay. People would pull up. We did that a few years ago. I like to invite the students from different schools to come out to the studio where the engineer will kind of show them what we do, tell them what they need to do. So we work with Homewood Flossmoor. We work with Prairie State. We work with Drake Elementary School in the city where they bring their kids on a field trip. and we had engineers here, and they just show the kids how to do it, let them record, just give them something else to look at besides
for sure.
go work at Amazon. And I ain't knocking Amazon,
Right,
but you get my point. Like there's other opportunities,
Open their horizons for
just
sure.
to see it. So for me, I think that's important because then they can see something, And it ain't just about, I'm going to this famous studio. It's more like, no, don't look at it like that. Look at it like, hey, we're human. We're the same. You just gotta identify it now.
Sure.
Get it early. Don't be like me.
Yeah.
And get it late.
give
The
'em
worst thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Getting it is getting it, and that's great. Don't look at the clock. But if I would have known at 20 what I was supposed to do,
Yeah.
I might be Elon Musk right now.
It's
I'm
just
just
like,
saying.
No, facts.
It's just like, how you said that they come on field trips and all that. Back in our day, we were taught the simple jobs: doctors, lawyers,
Yes.
you know what
Yes,
I mean,
for sure.
nurses.
For sure.
So those opportunities weren't presented then.
For
so
sure.
now for you to open the door with that, I don't want to be a nurse. Maybe I do want to be a producer or a DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
porn star or
even-
something. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what I mean? A Creep Sosa, a Raw Dog Legend. You know what I mean? Like those
Exactly.
opportunities present
Exactly.
themselves. Besides the basic jobs that they gave us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you have? Oh,
Go ahead.
Pardon me. What you got going on? Have you ever had any doubts? Like, how your family was trying to throw you off, but any personal doubts that made you want to stop at one point in time, but you kept it going?
Personal doubts. I don't think that I was ever really afraid to fail because I didn't have nothing to fail off. I ain't got nothing. All I got is the basic essentials. I got a job. I got a place to live. I got you know what I'm saying? I got a girlfriend. like them the basic essentials. So for me, I knew that I could always have a job because I'm a hard worker.
Right.
I can always have somewhere to live, right? Or I could be homeless. I've been homeless before, whatever. I can always get a car. Like, I felt like those were basic. So I was willing to sacrifice all of that.
Yeah,
That's dope.
Yeah, I was just finna ask that question. What type of sacrifices did you? We understand you sacrificed sleep, but what other sacrifices came with this road?
I would say one of the main ones that happened, besides like relationships and friendships, that's gonna happen. But a lot of that happened.
Yeah.
But one of the ones that I really hate that happened, which really kind of set me back, but I've recovered since then, was when I had to make a choice between keeping my house that I had my daughter and my wife in, and me in, and our family in, and having that studio. The
That's
first
rough.
studio, which is Studio A.
That's rough.
I couldn't afford it, bro. I was working at UPS, and I had to pay that mortgage, but I also had to pay that studio bill.
Yeah,
and that landlord said you wanted a business, I need my rent due. And I had to choose, bro. And I went to the old lady and said, I'm not paying rent no more. She said, what you mean you ain't paying rent? I said, I gotta do this. I'm gonna make a choice. I didn't know how that was gonna work out.
Right.
So I stopped paying my mortgage. I knew I had at least a year before the sheriffs was going to come and put me out. So I was like, well, I got a year. Let me make this work in a year. Maxed all my credit cards, did everything I could to get the business, get the studio up and going. In the meantime, relationship in shambles.
Yeah, it's a shambles.
She moves away. Now I'm, helping her with the baby. And I'm not paying the mortgage no more, and trying to build the studio and working full-time job. So I'm trying to do all of that. Eventually, the city came, slapped the pink note. You can't be here. I had to go get me an apartment over here down the street in Hazelcrest. And, of course, now my credit's bad, so they want $4,000 deposit.
Damn.
That is the one sacrifice that I'm not mad that I made, but I think I probably could have went about better than to go into foreclosure.
For sure.
Now, question: How young were you?
I was about, 30?
30,
30 years old, something around there, yeah.
So,
And,
so
and I had to recover for 7 years.
so that put a strain on your relationship, your marriage.
Absolutely.
You only got one kid.
Absolutely, yep.
Damn, man.
That he know of, y'all. That he know of.
That I know of, because I was in the Navy.
So Will, man, like that's a fucking sacrifice, man.
Man,
And
that's a
I don't
big-
No,
think
yeah,
people,
that part, that was probably the hardest part.
Yeah.
And then, of course, me and her, that wasn't really working out. So I just kind of was like, oh, well, I already done sacrificed everything I had for this, so now I got to put 100% into it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just went all out. I just did everything I can. I slept there. I just because I had to make it work. Now I done lost everything. You know.
It makes you stronger, man. To me, I feel like struggle make you stronger.
I think
when
so
you go
too.
through things.
I think so too.
When you look back at everything that you did accomplish right now, is there anything that you would have done differently?
No.
No.
I'm gonna tell you what. And I'll get into this a little bit. The name of my book is called "Ignorance Always Wins."
It does though.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I agree with you on
And
that.
there's some elements about that. Some people might say, well, why would somebody want to be ignorant? Well, there are some positive elements to being ignorant. There's also some negative ones if you do it incorrectly. And one of the positive elements of being ignorant is courage. If you don't know what's on the other side of the hill, you're more willing to climb it. But if you know there's danger on the other side, you're not going to climb
avoid
it.
it.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I would have known that, you know, hey, if I do this, if I build this business, the city inspectors are going to come and shut me down, which happened, I probably wouldn't have built it.
Right.
If I would have, you know, if I would have known COVID was going to happen and I was going to have 4 studios shut down for 4 months and it cost me roughly about $8,000 per month to keep these things going.
Jeez.
But now I don't got enough money to pay for these studios, and now I go back to UPS. Just so y'all know, had to beg for my job back in COVID 2020. I went back to UPS. I was not a manager no more, but they allowed me to come back as a package handler, and they said, "You gonna be able to load trucks, man? You know, you 40 years old."
Well, they try to call you old man.
And I said, I could do it. I was in pain, taking Advils and aspirins every day.
Yeah, that
I
age
was
that
broke
caught
down. It was hurting. I was loading 4 trucks, but I was like, I got to do this.
Gotta do
I got to pay for this studio. I had put all this into it. And then
Right.
COVID hit. And they said, they put this, y'all can't operate.
That's rough.
All the way from March until June, studio shut down. Had to do that. So I applied for the PPP, you know, legally, and they gave me like 13 grand, but that didn't cover the
That
cost.
don't
Oh, for
cover
sure.
nothing.
You said 8,000 a month.
That didn't cover it.
that's-
Ain't
It was
cover
enough
nothing.
to keep me from getting kicked out.
Out.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
So I had to go back to work, bro.
Yeah, and
If I would have known that, if I wasn't ignorant,
yeah,
I would have been like, nah, I ain't doing this. So I'm glad I didn't know, bro. I'm
sure.
glad I didn't know the things I was gonna go through and the things that would have deterred me.
for sure.
You know
It
what I'm
taught you
saying?
something different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
you
like
got to
how
go
you-
through it. It
I
make
like-
you go stronger because
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
okay,
for
well,
sure.
now I got
I
to
agree.
save it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It make you like that story. Like I always say, like people don't never see that picture that you paint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Until it's
Until you
painted.
actually painted it.
Until
You
it's
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that story, like when you sit down and you tell that story, like and you embrace it that much more because you lived through that. And,
For sure.
and you might some people that's ready to throw that towel in or give up, you probably that voice of reason to make them keep going. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a
When they
fact.
hear that story.
You know, it sounds easy. You know, it does sound easy when somebody sits back and say, oh, I did this and I'm this. It sounds easy. They like, oh, you did it. But it's like, to be able to really connect to that, and they need to understand, like, bro, we both breathe air. Like, we the same person. I always, you know, people be like, Will, why you so humble? Why you just, like, you're Will. I was like, nah, bro, we're the same.
Facts.
You can do the same things that I'm doing. It's just a matter of your lifestyle. What do you do every day? What time do you wake up in the morning? What do you do when you wake up in the morning? How often do you play the video games? How often do you smoke? Do you get high all day? Do you drink? Do you hang out?
Cocaine.
Do you do cocaine? I had to stop smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? I had to stop, you know. But my point is, your lifestyle is the difference between success and not. It ain't nobody no different.
How does Will handle stress? And the reason why I asked that,
Go ahead.
all right, you was running 4 different studios. The pandemic hit.
Okay.
I was an owner operator, and that was some of the stressful shit that I ever been through in my life, bro. Because truck breaking down, you're not making the residuals really.
Yeah.
Like some people don't know how to handle stress.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people they go through these mental problems with it. So I want you to elaborate and explain how do you handle it when you go through something like that as a business owner.
For sure. A good question, bro.
Very good
It's a very
question.
good question. Me personally, I try to keep myself busy.
Gotcha.
I try to be so mentally occupied that I almost am oblivious to what's going on. It's almost to the point that people around you who care about you and who love you are looking at you and they going, you don't see what's going on?
Yeah.
You don't see the burning house outside? And I say, yeah, I know it's burning, but right now I'm focused on this.
Yeah, tunnel
I,
vision.
I can't stop the burning. I can't stop the fire.
Right.
So why am I going to complain about it and be stressed about it? All I could do is just focus on the next step.
You can never stop the burning without antibiotics. So, you know.
What is wrong with this man, bro?
I mean, because if you think about it, if it's burning,
Bro.
I'm looking dead in his face. He,
Bro, hold on.
Can't stop it without
the
antibiotics.
antibiotics.
You're wrong.
What?
Amoxicillin does kill it, okay?
Yeah. No, I'm saying you can't stop it without it.
Oh, no.
You can't stop the burning without antibiotics.
You got to have antibiotics.
You gotta have antibiotics.
You gotta have
so
antibiotics.
his antibiotics was tunnel vision.
That's right.
He blocked it out.
I just
So from
blocked
now
it out.
on, I know antibiotics.
That's right.
You know.
There you go. If it's burning, let it burn.
All right, Usher. All right,
Oh,
man.
shit.
Will, question. Oh, man, bro. Something is wrong with you, bro.
I'm,
No,
just
it's
I'm
beautiful.
naturally
That's
like
beautiful.
this.
It's beautiful. I
It's
love
just,
it.
I'm
I know, I
naturally
love
like
Bro,
this.
that's why we call your ass Richard Creep Sosa, bro.
No, it's
Bro, we
legitimate.
sitting here, but no, if you watch the episode, and this is for the audience, look at our faces when he asked the question.
We into
sitting
it,
there
bro.
serious, like, you know what, Creep, you right. Then you say it ain't burning without antibiotics. Kill me, bro.
Oh, man.
Kill me, bro.
Because, I mean, you're burning. You got to have antibiotics to put out the fire.
He's
So
right.
his antibiotic
It's just
was
his
the tunnel
analogy.
vision.
That's all. It's just his analogy.
What
Oh.
you use to wash the antibiotics now? Water?
Yeah. You know.
Will. All right, man.
Shit.
Do you think their success...
And antibiotics.
Oh, it's success. He still got his 4 studios.
Say, oh, that's success.
Oh, it's success.
Will, do you think there's success without sacrifice?
Of course not.
I like that.
Absolutely
Success
not.
without sacrifice, right? Because you elaborate on
Absolutely.
how you
Can't,
sacrifice.
man.
I don't think it's possible unless somebody just give it to you and hand it to you.
But I feel even then, it's a fumble.
Then it's
'Cause
not
people don't know-
success.
Exactly.
It
'cause
don't
nobody
become
know what to
success.
do with it.
Now it's just, it's given to you. That ain't success. That's a gift.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's possible.
What they say, risks make rewards in a sense. I may have said it wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, you can go.
No, go ahead.
No, I wasn't finna say nothing funny. I was just gonna say you really can't get rich working for somebody else.
No, you can't. For sure.
That's what I was finna say.
Like
So-
I had said earlier, I just think that's a good stepping stone because that's what I did.
No, for sure.
But I knew what I was doing.
Gotcha.
I was intentionally paying attention. So I don't never want to knock somebody who worked for somebody else.
No, for
Or
sure.
knock a job. Just pay attention.
That's it.
Yeah.
Are you just focused on your paycheck and then you ready to go? Or are you willing to put in that extra time and be like, no, I'm going to hang out a little longer. What you working on, man? I'm just doing books. How does that work?
Yeah.
Right.
To me, that's how you play the game.
Yeah.
That's just how
I had a conversation with a lot of people that came to me with me and music, you know, and I had to explain to them, like, you can't quit your job without something following because you have to be able to invest in yourself. You got to
Yes.
pay for studio time. You got to pay for beats, photo shoots,
sure.
video shoots. You got to be able to invest in yourself. And if you just quit your job and say, I'm going to be a full-time rapper, well, how you paying for it?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And the biggest thing that investors like had the most respect for me when I was doing it, man, is that I was betting on myself. And when they seen that I had something to lose, they was willing to match it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
Absolutely.
that's the thing with people today. That's why I asked the question with sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people out here want to look and be what these rappers are, you know what I'm saying? But it's really they fail to realize it's a lot of entertainment behind it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of entertainment and the influences behind it as well. You know what I'm saying?
For
like,
sure.
It ain't,
It's big
music,
money behind that.
Yeah, it ain't all about the jewelry, the women, the cars. It's not all about that because you got to understand the sacrifice that comes with it and the work you got to put in. Like you said, you lost sleep, you sleeping in a car, you working a job. People don't see that. They just only seeing your success. They don't know the story as to what made you get to where you are now, man.
One of the scariest things I've seen that really made me really understand what it was to be a super successful music artist was when I observed super successful music artists in person where they would go from town to town, city to city, doing their tours, doing their shows, and we thinking, oh, they so successful, and they are. But once we get around them and we go with them, we realize that, well, what you doing now? I got to record. I'm making music. I'm doing songs. I'm listening to beats. But don't you got a concert in 2 hours? But yeah, I got to do this first. Then I'm going to go do my concert. Then I'm going to get out the concert. Then I got to go back to the studio. Then I got to do this. Then I go to sleep. Then I get up. Then I go back to the studio. And it's like, wait, I thought you was enjoying your life.
Yeah.
You working.
They working
Your
10
ass
times
off.
harder
Slave.
than you are at your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you working 8 hours a day. You still got 16 hours
To yourself.
to yourself.
Yeah.
These artists don't have 16 hours to themselves
sir.
at all. It's 100%. You giving 100%. People don't realize what 100% mean. I think people think 100% mean I really want to do it. 100% means you are doing it 100% of the time.
sure.
Agreed.
And that's the part people don't see.
And
When
that's
I
how you
saw
eat.
that, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know if I could do that. I really think they should do some type of documentary of like, take a successful artist, one that we really look up to, somebody that's super hot, and I know they do the little day in the lives, but they don't really show it.
They don't
bro.
really show it.
And
You
then
gotta be there to see
I would
it.
say like how you I agree with that, but catch them like just think about catching 2003, 2004 Jeezy back in the day when he's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You following his steps, document like catch that. Don't catch him now when the success is already there.
That's
you know
how
what
you
I mean?
seen Kanye though.
Right.
If you look at Kanye documentary,
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
that was a
For
that,
sure.
Talking about the
Kanye,
one John Monopoly and them did.
not the
It was on
one-
Netflix.
Yeah, but I don't
John
know if it was
Monopoly and
John
them did
Monopoly.
that.
I thought it was his best friend.
It was. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was John Monopoly and his best friend
Okay.
who did that.
Okay.
I could be wrong though.
No, you might be right.
I
You
know.
know
I
what I'm
could
saying?
be
I just
wrong.
remember watching it, and it was his friend with the camera
Yeah.
that was, recording it. And
It
you
was
don't
on
know,
Netflix. I seen that.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
With you, Will, man, how do you separate the personal and business?
I literally look at it as two separate people.
Okay.
Two separate people. I got 3 phones.
I see.
Okay? So I got 3 phones.
Man, Kevin Gates only had 2.
I got a personal phone.
For real.
No, I got a personal. That's like mama, grandmama, daughter, wife, all that stuff.
Okay.
Then I got personal business. That's the number y'all would call. Okay?
Okay.
That rings directly to me, right?
Right.
But I know when that call, it's an associate, but they close enough to be able to
that-
call
Right,
that.
okay.
Then I got literally the business phone. That's just me having access to the business, but this phone never rings.
Right.
It'll never ring. This phone gets called and it goes directly to the office where somebody is there who's paid to answer that phone call.
You think you slick? You sell drugs, nigga. I know what you about? You trying to break it all down?
I'm just telling you. Listen,
You fucking hoes. You doing studio time and you selling drugs, man. I ain't trying to hear all that shit. You just trying to break it down.
you know what? I don't
got
think I
this.
would be able to ever get away with that.
I got that phone.
Somebody would get mad or get jealous because they ain't getting the right cut, and they'll tell. I've had opportunities where people ask me, "Hey man, you mind if I park 200 grand here?" I've had those opportunities. I'm like, nah, bro, nah, because as soon as your shit fuck up, you gonna mess up my shit. So I couldn't. But no, seriously, that's how you separate it, bro.
For real.
That's how you separate. So using the example that I just showed you with my phone, you gotta do that with your life, meaning that you gotta practice it.
Okay.
Do that with your bank accounts. Have an account for business. Have an account for personal.
Facts.
Do that with your.
I do. I got
No,
like 3
seriously,
bank
like
accounts. Seriously, I got
learn
3
to
bank accounts.
separate
Sure.
everything.
Yeah.
And when you learn to separate stuff, bro, you could kind of deter a lot of the stuff that you shouldn't be dealing with.
Yes, sir.
I'm finna use that because when I get on, I'm gonna tell my girl, this is why I got 3 phones. I got
Oh, the
Hey,
real.
this is exactly
But
why I got
nah,
all
man.
3 of them.
Nah, man. I can't do nothing but
But
laugh.
we heard you say something about you work with some successful artists. Let us know some of those successful artists that you work with.
I mean, it's a little list. It's a list of them.
Name them all. We on your time. Hold on, we interviewing him so we can run all night. He don't own this shit. I just thought about it. He don't own this shit.
No, you
He
know
gonna stand
what?
up
When
like, I'm paying you. Keep recording this shit.
let me think. Who's the first?
Don't you hit the stop.
You know what's crazy is when I first started and I was actually in the garage, which was that house that I lost.
Right.
The one that went in foreclosure. That was the garage. That's where I started the studio at. And I was working with artists in there, you know, just people that I knew would bring people, right? And at this time, a lot of those people weren't famous. They were up and coming artists, right? You know, so like at the time, Dreezy wasn't famous. At the time, Tink wasn't famous. You know what I mean? OTF Nunu, you know, did all his mixtapes. Lil Durk cousin, you know.
Damn, you work with Newski.
Newski.
Yeah, but his real name,
but I did all
Newski.
his early mixtapes and stuff like that. But again, they were still up and coming at this time. You know, G Herbo came to the garage a few times. Now he had a buzz, but he wasn't like Herb now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me see. Queen Key, she was coming to the garage. She going on tour with Glorilla right now. You
That's
know,
dope.
Shout out to Queen
she
Key.
doing her thing. There's a lot of people. I've had Crucial Conflict in the garage before, which somebody brought them,
Legends.
and I was like, "Oh, cold hard, okay," you know.
Facts.
So a lot of those people, a lot of them were not like where they are now.
Right.
So I've seen their growth, and to be honest, a lot of that motivates me.
Right.
Because I remember when we was, I ain't gonna say neck and neck. I'm not gonna say that, but I remember when
they
we was
started
all.
We
You
was all
feel
right
me?
here.
So when I
with
see
the
them
same
climb, I'm
vision.
like, I gotta climb.
Yeah, yeah.
It ain't a hating thing. When I see success, I'm like,
It's
okay,
a
what I gotta
motivation.
do?
Right.
Yeah.
How can I get better?
Right.
You ever see somebody that you didn't work with around that time and they act a little funny when they get on? Does that happen or nah?
I can't say act funny when they get on because I've been with some super famous friends with super famous people, and what I learned is it's not them acting funny. It's them get into a state where they have to shed.
Yeah.
It's a shed period. So when an artist first blows up, they're forced to shed people.
Right.
They have to.
They have to.
It's the same reason why when you sign to
record labels
Universal,
doing that?
yes, when you sign to these labels, they move you out of here.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? They need to get you away from all these people.
Yep.
That's gonna drag you back down.
Yep.
They need to
Protecting their
change
investment.
you into a new person. You're gonna become a new person. They have to. It's the only way. You got to shed. So when I see them go through that shedding phase, I don't take it personal. I know
Gotcha.
I know what's going on, and then they reach back.
So
They
you-
always reach back, man. I'm just checking on you, man. I know you was going. I know what's going on. You got to get rid of motherfuckers.
Right.
You just blew up.
Yeah.
Everybody hitting you up. Everybody calling you.
Yeah.
It's that period of I'm changing my number. I ain't talking to nobody. I can't be on social media. There's a period of that time, and then they come back around.
Have you went through that shedding phase?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not famous.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Nah.
Well, we just said you got 3 phones. Kevin Gates only got 2. You
on,
ain't
Will.
famous.
I'm not
Cut
famous.
it out, Will.
I'm
Come on,
not
Will.
famous.
Hey,
You know what?
Go back 2 episodes. We call this man Will the Great, but he ain't famous. Come on now.
the only extent I would say for me is, and I've learned this from watching those models of those people, is just you have to limit your reachability.
Yeah.
You have to limit how many people can reach you.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to practice that. You got to learn that it's okay for everybody not to be able to reach you.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get distracted and get thrown off your tunnel vision. Now you got to deal with stuff that you really don't need to know about. That's that ignorance thing.
sure.
Now-
I don't want to know your problems, bro. Them your problems.
Yeah, that's,
Like,
that's what I was just about to
I
ask.
don't want to know them.
With that separation, is that considered family, friends?
Absolutely, bro.
Children. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
I know it
does-
sound weird, but yes.
Yeah, that's.
You gotta mentally know, yes, you got to be able to tell yourself yes, even though that's the hardest thing to do. Now, luckily, I don't have that issue where I have like a kid that's bad or a kid that's where I got to like distance myself from. But if you had a kid like that and they were hindering your progress, you might have to be like, okay, I got to get him a little distance.
Yeah.
I know that sound mean,
For sure.
but
Yeah, fuck the
in
kids.
the in the sense of trying to get to where you got to get to, because at the end of the day, I can't help nobody if I can't help myself.
Right. Hey.
Seriously.
And you can't help them if they not trying to help themselves.
And
And
the
that's a
saying
whole
that I
other
use, man, is like how you said, you can't help nobody if you don't help yourself. If I'm not happy, I can't make you happy.
That's absolutely right. That's
know what I'm
absolutely
saying?
right.
Man, Will, you talking about? Okay, so you talked about who else other than who you just named, like bigger famous people have you?
Oh,
done?
so I work with Juice World too. I know.
what?
I know y'all was gonna bring that up. I actually
How you
have
know
a
we was gonna
diamond
bring that
plaque.
A
A
diamond
diamond
plaque.
plaque.
Diamond plaque. I don't know if it's in any
Where
other
it's at? It's in
studios.
here?
So you got a diamond plaque?
Diamond plaque. It's
Yeah.
on the wall out there. I should have brought it in so y'all can see
Yeah,
it
you
for
should
the
have had it
show.
sitting right there
It's
on the
all
tape.
good. It's all good. It's all good. So
You recorded that whole album?
So I recorded. You know, I ain't gonna take away some of the work that some of the other people's did, but I did a lot of the work on that album. So if you go to like the Wikipedia and look up the songs on the album, you'll see which songs I did. To be honest, I don't remember every single one of them because I've recorded 80 songs for Juice World.
Damn.
A total of 80. That's about the last time I checked. I remember me and Interscope was on the phone and they were asking how many songs. And I was like, I got 80 of them. But the story of how the plaque actually came about was, now granted, I have other plaques from
Diamond though.
working with him, but
Right.
when the thing about it was, me and Juice had a really close relationship. So whenever whenever things were going on, we would personally talk about it, like sending files and sending things like that. But then when he passed, I was like, well, I don't really have a connection to the label. But luckily, I still had some label connections in Interscope that were still cool with me. But as you guys know, with the record label industry, people come and go.
Yeah, for sure.
People come and go. So the same people that's there now weren't necessarily the same people that was there when he was doing all of the things that he was doing.
Right.
So I was kind of feeling like I didn't really have the connect in there that I needed to get in there. So when I heard Lucid Dreams had went platinum or diamond, I was like, well, I got to get my diamond plaque. So I hit up the plaque company and said, hey, send me my diamond plaque. And they were like, well, you got to get somebody from the record label. And I was like, that's no problem. Hit up a couple of A&Rs. They're like, oh, he's no longer with the company. He's no longer with the company. So I was like, man, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to get you to run around, huh?
So you kind of getting a little bit of that. So I was like, it's cool. Remember I talked about timing?
Yeah.
Timing. So I said, it's cool. So I kind of sat back. You know, I wasn't saying anything. And next thing you know, Interscope calling me. Oh, we need Lucid Dreams because Fortnite needs it. Fortnite needs Lucid Dreams. And I'm the only one that got the files. Okay?
Wow.
They don't have the files. I got the files.
So you got the masters.
I got all the masters.
Damn, Will.
So with that,
Cold-blooded.
and I'll never leak them.
He
I'll
ain't
never
famous.
leak them. I'll never send anybody. I'll never sell them. That was a promise that I actually had made to Juice years ago. He said, Will, don't send my files to nobody. He said, not even the label. He said, don't send my stuff to nobody. I said, I promise I won't ever do it. I said, but if you need files, bro, you got to call me.
Yeah.
He said, I'll call you if I need files. And that still exists to this day.
That's crazy.
So I won't send nothing. So when they hit me, I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know what? For him, for his legacy, of course, he would want to be part of this thing, a part of Fortnite. So I'm going to go ahead and have the obligation to send these files. So they called me. Oh, we need the files, but we need them today. I said, you know what? I need my diamond plaque.
Hey, look, there you go.
Hey.
There go Will.
Right?
I need
And they was
what's
like, oh,
owned
what
to
you
me.
mean? I was like, well, blah, blah, blah. I got to talking, and she said, let me make the phone call. Made the phone call, boom, called them. They called me. How many you need, sir? I need 2 of them. One over that building and the other over here.
Don't you charge their ass though
What you mean?
for sending that? You know.
No, they actually charged me. I have to pay for that. I have to pay for the shipping and all of that kind
No,
of
I'm
stuff.
saying is
No,
they
for the
want
file.
they want the files.
Oh, I didn't give them the files. I
Oh.
just sent them the stems.
Okay.
I just sent them the stems. I still have the files. I don't send the project files.
No, for sure.
Just the
Yeah.
stems.
You
So,
said you
because
get-
that's what they
yeah.
wanted. We just
Break
want the
this
stems.
down because there's gonna be people watching because
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be people that don't know stems. Can you explain that to the people that's
Okay,
watching?
so when you record into a DAW, which is a what does the DAW stand for, Hitter? Digital audio workstation. Sorry, I was having a brain freeze. When you record into a DAW, you use a software that is recording you.
Right.
That software is the one that designates what goes where. That says the ad lib is going to go here, the vocal is going to go here, the hi hat going to go here, the
Right.
drum going to go here. It designates the order of the song, and you can manipulate anything you want in that song in that project file. When you're done with the project file and the artist says, "Send me my song," you bounce or render it into a one file song.
Yeah,
So they
MP3.
can hear it, but they don't have the project file.
Right.
The stems is when you say, okay, I want all the drums, all the hi-hats, all the snares,
Yeah.
all my vocals, all my ad-libs, all my doubles. So now you got 15 to 20 different files.
Yeah.
Okay? Which all comes from the project. But the project file is where you're going to get all of that from.
Yeah.
And whoever has the project file has the ability to manipulate the song, duplicate the song, recreate the song, do anything that they want with it.
Yeah.
So that's like the master painting of the whole thing.
Right.
I'm gonna have you do that with my Creep We Trust album.
Come on, let's get it. I already told you I'm trying to hop on that.
So we call those the session.
Those are the sessions,
Right, the
or
sessions.
the masters. if
So
you
what
will.
was it like working with Juice WRLD, man?
Man, just a lot of energy. Dude was awesome. Like, like his first time coming, he's just so much energy, just a ball of energy. I remember when he first started coming back in 2015. That's when I first started working with him. He would just get YouTube beats and just do stuff, and I'd just be like, "Bro, you like, did you just freestyle that?" He like, "Yeah, I just freestyle it." And I remember saying, "Man, like you're pretty good at this. Like
Yeah.
you could carry a note, you could carry a melody. You're very musically inclined." And it was just awesome working with him. Just always good energy, always great. And he always listened. He wasn't ever on no tough stuff. Just honestly, a really genuinely good person. Yeah. That's how I was. Honestly, like it was cool.
Rest in peace to him.
Did you? Definitely rest in peace, Juice WRLD. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Did he help you like with you
You
learning
know what?
with him? Did he help you make you who you are now?
For
Or
sure.
Did you
like
already have it and then Juice WRLD just, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, we already kind of had the studio built up. So when he came, he was just like, "Oh, I heard about this studio. I want to come work here." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna take care of you." So me, Dro, a couple other engineers actually worked with him.
Joe
And
was working with him too, huh?
Dro worked with him too. So
dope.
we would listen to what he did. We was like, "Man, why don't you try this? Why don't you do this?" So a lot of the stuff that he released and what y'all hear today is tailored by us. Like a lot of it is our ideas also mixed in with his ideas as well. Of course, ultimately he gets the final say on that. So technically, it's his stuff. But at the end of the day, like it was just awesome working with him and great. And when he was starting to get offers. I remember him calling me. It was like 6 a.m. one time. He called me. He was like, "Man, Will, they trying to sign me. I was like, "Who trying to sign you?" So he would drop some names, and he said, "What you think I should do, man? What you think I should do?" And then I remember, he was saying, "Man, what you think you could?" I was like, "Well, listen, this is what you do. You do this, you do this." I can't remember exactly everything I was telling him, but we were close. Like we were close. Man, make sure it's this. Make sure it's that. Make sure the deal says this. I'm still learning. How the music business work. I know it a little bit better now. Right. But at the time, I'm still learning. I'm not in a position to take him to where he is, where he got.
Yeah.
I'm just an engineer that works in Enviyon doing my best, know. So he so what should I ask for? Make sure you ask for this. Make sure you do this. Okay, cool. Next thing I know, people was like, "Man, you see Juice WRLD blew up." I was like, "What you talking about?" And it just happened like that.
Just
So-
like that.
That's what's up.
So Will, how did Juice WRLD death affect you, man?
Definitely a hole, definitely emptiness. Definitely feeling like, no, we wasn't finished.
Yeah.
That was really like,
Yeah.
we wasn't done, bro. We wasn't, I don't want to say, but we had conversations of things that we were going to do, you know, people we were going to talk to, all of that kind of stuff. And, like he would FaceTime me like, hey, Will, when I get to Chicago, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And I'd be like, okay, cool, I'm waiting on you. It was like that. So it was like when he died, I was like, man, we ain't even finished. Like he ain't even get a chance to see
man.
what he did.
Man, he
Like to me, for him, not for me, but
Right.
for him, like he don't even realize the amount of people that he affected. You know,
Yeah.
so I remember going to his funeral, and I got up there and I actually spoke at his funeral.
Oh man, that's
dope.
And it's actually a blackout. I actually don't remember everything I said. And it wasn't recorded because they took phones and video cameras at the door. It was definitely a private thing, and Interscope had called me and said, we want you there. So I came out there and spoke at it and met his family.
I wasn't
and all
out
that
here?
kind of stuff. It was out this way, yep.
I was out this way.
Yeah, it was right down Harvey, I believe.
It was in Harvey.
Yeah.
St. Mark's?
The Hope.
I hope.
Yeah, yeah, Hope.
Damn.
Yeah, for sure. I
But
know
yeah.
a lot of people that had went to the service, man. A lot of people that was connected to him, man.
Yeah,
That's,
for sure.
That's tough, man. His mom just recently opened a brewery.
Brewing
Yep.
company.
I haven't had a chance to go by there yet. I hear
you
it's
didn't?
awesome.
Oh,
I ain't
no,
been.
this
I
is-
haven't been by there yet.
If you're a beer drinker,
You been there?
yeah, I've been
Okay,
once.
good.
I've been once.
Oh, you been? Where's the local? Like,
It's right off 183rd and it's a Dixie Highway.
oh, it's out here?
Yeah,
it's in
at
Homewood.
Homewood.
It's
It's,
right
called,
around the
it's called Homewood Brewing Co. You know what I mean? So, but like you go in there, the great food. They have great food, but like the selection of brews. You know what I mean? You know that's what we call beers, but. Man, beers you ain't even heard of. You know what I'm saying? You go in there, you get some beers that you like how they do the wine tasting. You do beer tasting. You know what I mean? Upstairs, downstairs, very beautiful establishment. You know what I mean? So like for her to open that in his name is awesome. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's dope.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
seen like TikToks how they got a mural in that form.
Yeah. As soon as you walk in, it's to the left hand side.
Yeah.
But it's you can look right in it when you drive past it. You know what I mean? The parking is in the back. Beautiful place, bro. Beautiful
dope.
place. Out here in the birds with us.
For sure, man.
Yeah, I gotta go up in there. Even though I don't drink beer.
Beer.
You'll have
I said
one.
I'ma go
You'll
too.
have because they got like you know how they do the what's them beers like the Berry Wise. You know what I mean? Like what they Luden burgers or whatever they call.
What is it? That domestic? I don't know about beer.
No, it's domestic imported. You know what I mean? We talk something else about beers, but I'm saying
All I
like
know
the
is about
flavored beers, like the
Steel Reserve,
Stellas,
Ice
the
House.
ciders, and all that.
That's what I know.
Exactly.
This boy
He
said,
said
"Give me a
Steel
Coke
Reserve.
40. Hey, give me a Coke 45 on tap."
On the wheel. I remember
With two
Creep-
lines out there.
I remember Creep used to pull up with Boom Farm, man. I'm like,
Oh man,
Boom Farm.
shit, Creek.
Bro, I ain't heard that in a long time.
X-Line, man. He
That's
talking
what you on, bro?
not Boone's Farm, man. No, I started drinking, man. We was drinking apple vodka and shit. When I was a
Ooh,
kid, we was drinking
shit.
Seagram's, Blueface,
yeah,
Bumpy
Blue
Face
Label,
and shit.
boy.
Like Blue Label,
Yeah,
Bumpy
boy,
Face.
half a gallon, boy. Or
Damn.
the Irk and Jerk.
So-
you know what I'm saying? The E and J.
Easy Jeezy.
So was he when he became famous, he still was recording with you? He still come out and recording with you?
So when he became famous, he went to LA. And pretty much he was working out there with
Gotcha.
with those guys. But he would always invite me, like, hey man, come out here. But of course I got this going. You know, I'm growing, I'm doing, and as a result of what me and him were working on, I was getting an influx and some people, getting new engineers coming in, and so I had to obviously do that. But when he would come to Chicago, I would go visit him in this hotel, and
sure.
we would hang out for a second or whatever. And the last time I visited him was in November of the same year, and then he died in December.
Damn.
'Cause-
So any regrets on passing up the opportunity to go out there to LA?
I'm not gonna no.
No.
Because for one, I couldn't foresee that, for one. For two, I had no reason to believe that I was doing anything wrong or abandoning anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like we lost contact or he was trying to reach out and I wasn't answering.
Right.
We still talked. And when he came to Chicago, where you at, man? I'm at the Trump. All right, cool. I'll be over there. And I would go. So, I don't, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like if you move to LA and It will come when you come out here. It was good. All right, cool. But if I don't come, you ain't mad.
No, for sure.
And then when you come to you in the city, I'm finna slide on you. All right, cool. And I slide. So it's like that relationship was still there. So I don't necessarily have regrets in that sense where I felt like, man, I passed up on opportunities because the relationship was still good. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's good.
Now this I gotta say this because Will play this little humble thing, man.
It's the old dog braids.
Will, you talk about you ain't famous, man. I seen you on TV in a documentary.
What documentary?
It was a documentary about Juice WRLD.
You saw me on TV?
Yeah, you was on TV. You was you was in the studio with a hat on, sitting in the
Bro,
chair.
I ain't
man.
even see that.
Yeah, man, that same hat.
I ain't even see that.
Talking proper and everything, but like Will, like you got a diamond plaque, and every time Lucid Dreams come on, you hear Enviyon on the mix. Like, what is the like? How do you take that in, man?
That's dope. And I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off, but nigga, you went diamond. Nigga.
Diamond.
No, it's a
This
big
ain't
deal.
platinum. This
And
ain't gold. Diamond.
Man.
This
You know,
is-
like I said,
how many artists? How many people in the world went
It's
diamond?
not a lot
It's
of
not
diamonds.
a lot.
It's not a lot. It's not a
Diamond.
They
lot.
did it with you, and you
you know,
ain't famous.
With you.
I'll be honest with y'all. Like,
You ain't famous
I have
with that
a
hat
hard
on?
time soaking in that. Like, I have a hard time just, getting stuck in anything. And I'm not gonna call it stuck. I have a hard time of just saying, man, like, don't get me wrong. Of course I'm happy. Of course I'm ecstatic about it. But I'm so focused on like, okay, what's the next thing? That it's hard for me to constantly look in the past.
As soon as that nigga got that diamond, we fucking made it. Nigga, he in the crib by himself. Ain't
Okay,
tell
of
no-
course I break
turned
down.
up.
Yeah, I
Nigga, we
broke- I
made it.
broke- I
Dancing
broke
around
dance.
his draw slide.
Absolutely.
Nigga, we made it. Nigga. You
I
know what
did
I'm
all
saying?
of that.
So
I
you-
did all of
You,
that.
you probably had a threesome after that.
And recorded it. Got great
Cause I ain't gonna
audio.
lie, I go diamond. It's gonna be a threesome.
He had a threesome.
It's
got
gonna be
great
some white
audio.
shit on my nose.
On the real.
I'm be recording it.
Hey,
So he
Nigga, the
got
plaque gonna be
HDR
right
footage.
there.
at the beginning of the threesome, it said Enviyon on the mix.
Yeah, on the real. Plaque right there. Residue on my nose. I got a robe on. I'm over here telling my, check it out. Hold on, get the plaque.
Yeah.
Gotta get the plaque. My eyes wide as hell. Get the plaque.
This for you.
This
Man.
for you. What?
You know you cut up.
But nah,
Will.
man, on some real shit though, man. Man, we salute you and we giving your
Hey,
flowers, man. You
hey,
snap,
man. I
man.
appreciate
Why you
it.
sitting
You
right
snap,
here?
man.
Why you,
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? Like, because even with our platform, you know what I mean? You say you starting back then. We ain't even been a year, and you done sat there in that chair with the engineer. Out of the 18, 19 episodes we didn't film, you done did 16 of them.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this would be number 20 that we didn't film, and you sitting on the couch. You know how long we've been trying to get you on this couch,
Yeah,
Mr.
man.
You a hard
Unfamous?
guy to get on
That's
there.
because
Man.
y'all so famous. Y'all got all these people.
We
coming
looking
on
at
the
you and
show.
we can't even get them on the
On the
couch.
real.
How we looking at you? We can't get you to sit down.
we famous. He the one famous, Mr. No to Zero Tolerance.
Zero tolerance.
Yeah.
Zero tolerance?
No,
Yeah,
that's-
zero tolerance.
It's just my opinion. And what you say, Enviyon on the beat. You need to change that. Enviyon on the film. You know what I'm saying?
On the real.
You know, that's what it needs to be because the vision that you have for us. We're gonna say it like that because we have our vision, but you have a better picture. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And when
Like
I
from
sit
an
back,
outside looking in perspective.
Yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
On
Okay.
me, for me sitting back watching an episode after, I'm sitting here recording it.
Uh-huh.
So for me to sit back and watch it and I'm sitting, I'm like, man, damn, Will snapped.
Yeah.
Will clicked that button the right time. You know what I mean? Will got my voice sounding like I'm your goddamn daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like you rock with us, bro. So like the success that you give other people, we feel the aura from you.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So
no,
I say we want to
seriously.
give your
No.
flowers while you.
I
sitting
appreciate
right
that.
here.
You're right. And that is something that I really, really, really strive to do is to make sure that whoever I'm working with and whatever I'm working on, that it looks better and it looks the best way it possibly can make.
Yes, sir.
I don't even care. I don't even look at like how much money I'm making or how they ain't paying enough for all that. I never looked at life like that. I always looked at it like, can I make this better? For
sure.
And honestly, like all the people that's on my team that's here at Enviyon, that's the same thing I try to make sure that I'm implanting in them.
Yeah.
Did you do 100% of
Correct.
everything you could do to make that better? And that's kind of probably what y'all seeing. Y'all
sure.
just seeing me give it 100%. I'm doing, and I think I get better as time goes.
No, for sure.
I think as y'all do y'all shows, I know how y'all. Okay, I know who finna respond.
Yeah.
I know who to look for.
Yeah.
So I'm also studying it. I'm also learning, and I'm also trying to get better.
You growing with us. But
Absolutely.
one thing we gotta share, man, we have to,
Okay.
is that you gave us the platform to do what we doing right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just my opinion, has been nominated for hottest new podcast.
And we're not even 365 days in.
Cause it's sitting on your couch, Nick.
So imagine if we win this. I ain't gonna say imagine if we win. When we win,
When we win.
we get to sit our plaque on this table.
Okay.
With Juice WRLD Diamond plaque, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's because of you, Will. You had this vision, dog, and then you gave us, like, it's a lot of people out here that's aspiring artists. You know what I'm saying? From bands, you got a room set up for a band. You got the room set up for the rappers, the singers, man. You set up with the. It's like you giving us everything we need to be successful.
In whichever avenue you choose,
Whichever avenue you
have it
choose.
at your willing. You know what I mean? In your forefront. So like with us with the podcast, even with us sitting here with the podcast, to say if I want to get up from here and be like, man, let me go drop this diss track on X real quick. I'm going right down the hall. You know what I'm saying? Like you give
For sure.
you give these children that has these dreams of being social media content creators, producers, engineers. I mean, you give them all that platform. You know what I mean, so just outside of you doing this, you're opening up the horizon for the city of Chicago. So you're
That's
famous. You're famous within the city.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like your name rings bells through the entire city, Will. You know what I
That's
mean?
cool.
You are Will the Great.
You know what? It's not intentional though. It's and I don't want to be famous because I want to be famous. I just want my work to speak.
Speak for itself.
That's it. If I get famous because I did good work,
You
then
did.
I accept it.
You did. Like
But
I
if I'm
say,
famous because I got a lot of Instagram followers, to me that ain't famous.
That ain't cool.
To me,
You gain nothing
You
from
just
that.
popular.
Right.
Just
You just- you
popular.
just
Popular, yeah.
or
it's different.
you got a lot of people that send up on their phones and they just scroll
sure.
past you.
Nah,
you know what
for
I'm saying? Like that's all there. But with you is more of like, you know what I mean, you too damn humble. You know what I mean? Like for you to say that, oh well, I sent the schemes to Juice WRLD on Fortnite. I wanted to go back to you said that. my son was born in 2015. Okay, so the skin for Juice WRLD just came out. So I go back there one day and he playing. I said, who you use? He said, that's Juice WRLD. I'm like, damn, they put Juice WRLD on the game. So they playing Lucid Dreams. He do a little emote. Oh, you going crazy? I say, son, the same studio that he recorded that's where I film my podcast at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he, oh my God. So he on the phone. My daddy filmed his podcast at the same show. You know what I'm saying? Like they're kids, but
Right.
the fact that you telling them that they feel like that I'm famous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
I'm able to
Yeah.
sit on your couch or sit in the same studio that Juice WRLD record. You know what I mean? So that matters even to these little kids.
Yeah.
For sure.
These children, like you touch everybody in ways that you don't even know that you do.
For sure.
Will.
I'm probably not aware of all of it, but
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just as long as it's positive, man. As long as I'm making a difference, that's all that matters, bro.
Yeah, I told my son the same stuff. I was like, well, you know, Juice WRLD, you know what I'm saying? Where we record at, this, that, and the third, and it's the same reaction.
The same
like,
reaction. Like, what?
Yeah.
You allowed to sit there? Like, what you do to get there?
Right.
We ain't do shit but pay the little shit online.
Yeah.
Put our time slide. We sitting on the couch. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I just had my nephew over. My nephew is 9. My son is 8. And just like you said, the skins for Juice WRLD and stuff like that. I hear the kids playing on a tablet, playing Lucid Dreams. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And they just, you know, it's a loop. It's like a reel.
Right.
So it keep playing. So what I did was I turned on a song. And to sit there and see these kids word by word sing it and start doing a little dance, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's crazy. But it's just crazy, like you said, he's not here to see it. He's not here to even see the success that he gained from that record. And it's like I would love to hear Juice WRLD's mindset of what was your mind like when you recorded this record?
Right.
Because we don't know these records is gonna do what it's gonna do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We have no clue. We just literally go in there and we present our art, and then we come out. The world make it this big.
Right.
Correct.
You know, so I'm really curious as to what was his mindset. But with you, Will, you got this studio, you got that studio, man. What's the future for Enviyon Studios, man? Is it franchising? You gonna have one in L.A., New York? You know what I'm saying? Atlanta? What's up?
That's definitely have been one of the biggest things that I've been thinking about, and I definitely got some great ideas on how to make that work. But to be honest, that was one of the reasons why we did 6 studios, is because I wanted to see, is it possible to do that? I wanted to see, is it possible to run a studio that can run under the exact same name and have a team of people under the same roof, you know what I mean, all working for the same goal in a franchise fashion. When you look at a McDonald's, when you look at a Walmart, like that's a franchise fashion, right?
Correct.
And that don't exist in a studio world. That's not something that nobody's ever done.
Right.
And I always ask myself, why haven't anybody created a franchise studio? It don't exist. I mean, if y'all think about it, y'all know any studios that's a franchise?
Hell no.
No, you only know individual studios.
Individual,
If
right,
it's baseline, it's baseline.
So I
Yeah.
said,
Right.
let's do studio A. Okay, let's do B. Let's do C. Let's do D. And I said, okay, well, I can't really call this a franchise because, for one, I'm the only owner, and for two, they all next to each other. Well, let's try to get a couple down the street and see if that works. Cool, we get that couple down the street. And again, I'm learning the political stuff behind it, the business stuff, the licensing. I'm learning that stuff in the process. And okay, cool, that worked. All right, cool. Why don't we try to go to Texas and do one? You know what I mean? And so there is a lot of talk about doing that because we see that it's possible. We see that it can work. It's going to be a lot of work to do something like that, but that is one of the next moves. I don't think we would do another one in Chicago. I don't think it's.
No, you don't really need to.
I don't think we should. I think we should go somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
Now with the Chicago, the artists you have here that's up and coming. Give us some of those that you didn't work with that's up and coming in the city.
Like names?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't throw out names.
You can't throw out none of the names you didn't work with in the city.
I can't, and the reason why is because I work with so many people, bro. Ain't no way for me to recall all the names. And
No, I'm saying like up and coming, like the ones that's out now.
Who to look for?
Right, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I seen, like, for instance, we had Jujilla. Jujilla done stepped in, you know what I mean?
sure,
like,
for
like,
sure.
Like, name some of those artists that done came in.
That is one area that is so cloudy for me because I could sit back and I could say, okay, this is an upcoming artist 1 year, and then 2 months later, they just fall off the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I see that so much. I've been doing this for like 16 years now.
Yeah.
And I see that so much that now I just let the work speak for itself.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, the other thing about it is, I got 17, 18 engineers. They the ones doing all the work. They the ones really seeing what's happening.
Here go the boss, Will. You hear him, right? Yeah. Yeah.
They the ones working with most of the artists. So, like, you know, I mean, he'll be able to tell you, like, I think this person got potential. I think that person got. They'll have a little bit more insight into, you know, that. And what I try to do is I just say, hey, who have you worked it with that you think is hot?
Right.
And then they'll just kind of send me a couple of names.
Right.
And then I'll just look at them and I'll listen to them. Because, I mean, I still got connects. I still
Yeah,
got
yeah, you
deals.
still got the
You gotta
connects.
rub
got
shoulders. Yeah.
Things like that. I mean, we're still a vendor licensed studio. Like, that means that we're a vendor for, like, labels. And we still have A&R connects and things like that. So, but it's not that easy, you know. You can't call an A&R from Warner or Sony or something to just be like, I got a hot artist, because I've been disappointed like that.
Yeah.
Where I've called A&Rs or whatever on behalf of people, and then they disappoint.
Yeah.
And then now they looking at me like, well, don't call me with that.
Yeah.
Don't call
So
me with
now
that
I
bullshit.
learn to let people. I need to see
Yeah.
before I do that, and so I kind of stopped doing that. I actually got a meeting coming up in the next couple of weeks with an A&R, and they're gonna come meet me, and they're gonna bring some artists, and they want me to tell them what I think about them, which is
wow.
cool.
Yeah, for
and they
sure.
said,
And you ain't famous.
and they said, and they
Come
said,
on, man.
Not
bring.
famous at all.
Well, listen, and they say bring.
autographs.
They say bring 3 of yours, because we're gonna take them and we're gonna do a show, and we're gonna go out here and we're gonna do We're gonna go to Atlanta. We're gonna go to a couple cities and see if they willing to. And I'm just like, okay, cool. So now I got to do my homework.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got to, because I don't want it to be biased. I could sit here and give you a bunch of names that will know, but what about the artists that Hitta know?
Right.
The artists that Gonzo know?
Right.
The artists that Jake know? The artists that Dro know? The artists that, that's why I don't name names.
Yeah.
Because there's some hot people that come to the studio.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I might not know about it, but they hot. Does that make sense?
Right.
So I have to do my, every once in a while homework and say, give me your top 5. Jay, give me your top 5. Give me your top 5. And I listen to him.
Yeah.
And the engineers do that. Hey, man, I need you to check out blah, blah, blah. He what's up? Okay, cool. And then if I see what's up, I look at his work. I look at his Instagram. If I see dogs and him doing weird shit, I can't do nothing with that. Yeah. I need to see consistency because it's not what Will think. It's the person who don't know you think.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
It's what the A&R think. It's what the company think that's about to put the money into you.
Facts.
So those are the things that I look for in artists. Just that consistency. What are you pushing? Are you pushing your music, or are you too busy worrying about how good you look or how much money you got?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Posting a bunch of guns. And,
For sure.
all that shit.
In your years of doing what you do, have you ever seen an artist do cocaine?
Absolutely.
Can you explain the situation?
Okay.
Like,
I was in the studio. This is probably about 6
He
months
did
ago.
cocaine in the studio.
Oh, for sure.
It wasn't creep, was it?
It wasn't creep. It was 6 months ago. They came in the studio, and I was recording them, and they was in the booth, and they was doing their thing. And then they was like, hey, you don't mind if we do a little coke, do you? And I looked at them, and I was like, well, I said, I don't do coke. And he was like, I promise you, Will, it's the purest of the purest.
Oh, he tried to sell it to you.
He was trying to give me and I said, no, I'm
Were these
cool,
minorities?
bro. I said, I don't care what y'all do. No, they was white. They was white boys.
Okay.
They was white boys. I said, I don't care what y'all do.
Terminology,
He said, all right,
boy.
cool. So they on the little table. And I think I was more so
Fascinated,
fascinated
real,
by it, that I didn't stop it. I could have been like, nah, bro, y'all can't
Y'all
do that
can't
shit
do
in
that,
here.
yeah,
But
right.
I just wanted to see niggas do it. So I'm like, go ahead. So they fucking sniff it, but they was
did
cool.
they say woo after they do it?
They was
I just want to know, like I'm just, because I never seen somebody snort cocaine.
no,
before.
bro. They was cool. Like it was
Oh,
normal
shit.
for them, and they did it, and they was cool. They ain't freak out. They ain't act a fool.
They try to tear your shit up, but none
They
of
ain't
that,
try to tell my shit. It was like, Will, you sure you don't want to try it? And I thought about it for a second. Let me tell you why I thought about it. Because I didn't see them freak out.
Right.
Like after they did it, I was like, nigga, cool. I said, so I might be cool.
Hey, did they
Now,
drop
if he
something
would've
hot after?
died, if he would have died, I would have
Right.
been like, I'm glad I
Got
ain't
the
do it.
foaming at the mouth and all that shit. You wasn't fucking
Hey, he
with.
got better at singing, better at. I was like, man, maybe I should try. So I was
Give
looking,
me some of that.
but I ain't say nothing because I was like,
that
nah.
booger sugar.
Man.
I said, nah, I can't. I just left it alone. But
That's
I
that
definitely
limitless.
Will said, give me a piece of that. I push these buttons better for your.
It's so clear.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I can't work high at all.
Nah. You ever tried it before?
Absolutely.
You tried coke?
No, I ain't never tried coke. At all.
Funny as hell.
The closest I came
I almost spit this shit out, boy.
was
That
crack.
shit so
But listen,
that shit just
Look,
fucking.
hold on.
Oh, you tried it?
that's the closest I came was the little crack. Now I ain't smoked the crack, but somebody else was smoking it,
You got contact?
and they blew it in my face.
Oh, man.
That was the closest I got to it, but I ain't inhaled it or nothing.
Nah. You blew it back out?
I blew it back out.
Man, that's crazy, Will.
But anyway,
Craziest studio story, man. Come on. Crazy outside of the coke. You gotta have it. All right, let me ask you this. You got multiple studios. Have you ever had a scenario where motherfuckers don't fuck with each other was there at the same time?
not in recent years.
Okay.
Not in our new processes, but when I had the studio in the garage, absolutely.
Damn.
Absolutely. I remember having the garage, and I remember some guys leaving out the studio. You got to remember, I live here.
Right.
This is my house. I remember guys leaving out of the studio,
Shoot out.
and I remember some guys coming in the studio. And I let them pass each other. You know, I've developed systems now that
Right.
avoid this.
Right.
But at the time, I didn't
You
see
know.
that. And I was letting some guys leave out, and some other guys that were supposed to come was coming in. They saw each other. They was like, what? And next thing you know, all of them pulled their guns out.
Oh shit.
They in my backyard, okay? Because my garage is in the back. So you coming out the garage, you go through the gate, and you go to the little driveway.
Right.
And they coming out, they pull all their guns out. I go out there, I stand in the middle of all of them, and I say, look, y'all, this is my crib, y'all. Please don't do it. I said, please don't do it here, please. I wasn't scared to get shot.
Right.
I was more so scared they was going to shut down the studio,
Ah.
okay? I said, look, y'all,
We
please.
were like, I need my money.
I said, please don't blow up the spot. Please, just do it for me, please, y'all. I'm looking at both of them, and they looking at me, and they looking at each other. This is true. And I'm standing there like, please, y'all, please don't do it. Don't do it here. Don't do it here, y'all. And they was like, man, Will, you better be glad we fuck with you.
Damn.
And they left.
And he ain't famous.
So it'd have been
They didn't do it.
He just stopped the war.
Yeah. in his driveway, but you ain't famous.
Stop
In
the
your
whole
driveway, you
motherfucking
stopped the
war.
whole
Come on,
war.
man.
I guess they might have thought I was crazy for just doing it.
Man.
But I was genuine. And I knew both of them.
Yeah.
So, but they, of course, but I was like, bro, please. And they was like, you know what, Will, for you. And they didn't.
You
And
ever
they
had
left.
to stop fucking with somebody because of some people you was working with?
No.
Nah.
I don't pick sides.
Right.
I don't play that game. Never played that shit.
I know one time we almost was banned one time for a situation. We all know what I'm talking about too.
Definitely was. I mean,
bad.
for me, I'm just more like, listen, just keep it peaceful. There's always an opportunity and a chance that you're going to run into somebody. But when you're doing business, bro, you're doing business. So you just got to know how to just separate that
So,
stuff, you know?
before we get up out of here, Will, tell these people where they can find you if they want to record, if they want to sit down on the couch and shoot their podcast. You know what I mean? Let them know. Where
I
they
mean,
can.
just, you can always follow us at Enviyon_studios. That's on Instagram or Twitter, Enviyon_studios. My personal is my personal is Will from Enviyon. That's my Instagram. I do have a TikTok, but I don't really use it. I never got into TikTok, y'all. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm a little
me
old.
neither. X
Sorry,
went up our
y'all. But
TikTok.
yeah, for me, it's Facebook. You could search Enviyon on Facebook. Find us there. Find me there. Find me on Instagram. I'm mainly an Instagram person. But if you want to contact the studio, just Google it. Google Enviyon Studios. Get our phone number, get our address, come by the studio, set up a tour, go to our website, look at the different products, look at the different rooms. You can see the different rooms, see what the options we have. And it's all right there, man. It's all set up. I do a lot of work in keeping the website and things like that updated so everybody can be happy and love coming here. But for sure, a lot of fun.
So before we get out of here, I got
Go
to ask
ahead.
this last question, man.
Yeah.
This on some creep shit.
Go ahead.
You ever had to knock something down for studio payment? Like some.
Yeah, I know what that means. I know what that means.
He
Hell
looked over
yeah.
there like, Hitter, you still got the cameras on?
Look, Will, you either got offered it or you had to take it. Not take it, like, you know what I'm saying, but they gave it to you for payment.
That's rape X if he took it.
That's why I cleared it up, bro. We don't condone it. Okay.
I think we out of time.
It was good talking to you, Will, man.
Yes, sir.
It was good talking to you, Will.
Definitely.
Hey,
Thank you so much, Will.
Hey,
Appreciate you.
Love, man.
You, Will.
For sure, for
Hey,
sure.
go vote for the hottest podcast. You did.
It's just
Facts.
my opinion.
Got a pistol, man.
Man.
too.
Oh, shit.